Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor and best-selling author, and we are here to talk about the stock market. Now, I got a little tip today about Dillard's, and we really got to talk about this stock. So first, shout out to Brian Horn, who messaged me at around 8 p.m. and was like, hey, have you taken a look at Dillard's? Are you seeing what's going on here? I'm like, no, I totally thought Dillard's died. Like, I didn't know Dillard's was publicly traded. I haven't walked into a Dillard's since 1996. Like, I thought they were absolutely dead, and they are not at all. So we need to talk about it really quickly. I'm learning and absorbing this information right now, so I would encourage you to continue to do your research, and perhaps we'll do a deeper dive into the company here pretty soon. But this is the time to talk about it. Black Friday is around the corner, Christmas holidays around the corner. This is the time to start discussing it. So let's dig in and see what's going on here. So first off, over the past year, the stock is up 500%. And in fact, I think it's like 595. We're getting close to 600% gains in the past 12 months in Dillard's. Yes, Dillard's. So I was pulling together some things. I want to tell you a little bit about it, and one, why it's in the right environment. So I've been talking about consumer discretionary, like shopping stocks, right? We talked a little bit about Shopify. We did talk about Etsy. I talked about Dick's Sporting Goods. That's where the money was. So, Dick's Sporting Goods, Bath and Body Works, that's where my focus was. Again, I ain't thought nothing about Dillard's. Did not think they were here. But again, up 595% in the past year. But here's the thing. So they had earnings 4 days ago. So last week, and this is, like I say, this is the time for you to see what they're talking about and see what's going on with the company. So I broke out their press release as well as some of their statements, and just want to read a few things here. So first off, comparable retail sales, which means, well, first off, they only got 29 stores. They actually opened a new store in Texas and a new store in Colorado. Again, I didn't know they were still opening stores. But comparable retail sales means, like, store A was here, and then we're comparing store A to the next store. So if they open 2 new stores, they're probably comparing what they had before from this time to the last time they did this report. So it increased. Retail sales increased 48%. They also run a record amount of profit and sales during this time, which is still mind-boggling to me. They produced $197 million in net income, which means, like, after you pay all the bills, they made $197 million. And they are doing share buybacks, which means they're repurchasing their shares. They bought $239 million of stock. Now, that is a good thing for investors in that if you are buying the shares, it's got to go up, right? You are building in your own support for your stock. Now, there are other not so great consequences for employees and compensation, stuff like that. But from an investor perspective, that tends to be a good thing, because I know that if worst case scenario, y'all are buying the shares, so I can kind of get in and kind of ride the wave upward. Other things that they're talking about here is a record profit, record sales. People are apparently flocking into Dillard stores. I couldn't tell you what one is. Apparently, there's only 29 left anyway. That was as of their annual report in 2020. So I think they opened 2 more in 2021. So this is just some of the stuff that's like popping out right now. I have their press release here, just kind of the short list of things that's going on. Now, I don't see any, outside of maybe pent up demand of people really, really wanting to shop. I don't know, and the fact that it's in the right category, I don't know what else is really pushing the stock forward. So that's the question you're probably going to ask me is, are you going to buy it or should you buy it? That's totally going to be up to you. I do have a few concerns. So number one, I'm going to pull up a chart here. What I'm concerned about is it's already had this huge explosion in the last few days. What if I've already missed it? So for example, it's all-time high, and this was on, see who's going to give me the date here. So this was on the 11th, right after they announced earnings. During the trading day, the stock was as high as 364 and immediately came right down off of that. Today, as of the time of this recording, it's at 342. So again, that doesn't mean a whole lot. If you're thinking that it can go back to that 52-week high and really all-time high, then maybe this is a level you want to get in at. Maybe, I don't know. Personally, if I were going to do a trade into this, I don't know if I'm going to hold it long term or not. There's a lot of research I want to do. I really want to see if they've got is there a new app out there you guys are using? Is it an algorithm? Like, it's got to be something other than we didn't do well in 2020 because of COVID, obviously, and now all of a sudden it's like a one-time thing. That's what I'm concerned about. If I were going to do something short term here, Personally, I want to get in around that 318, 330 range. It's again $342 a share right now. There's no guarantee it's going to come down to that range. There's no guarantee there. There's no guarantee that it will hit that range and continue falling. Again, we don't know. But it has been on an absolute tear for more than a year. This is not something that happened overnight. It has been continuously happening, again, for the better part of a year and some change. I'm surprised no one else has brought this up. Again, maybe all of us thought that Dillard's was dead. But they're not. They are out there. They are gaining. I'm really interested to see, dig into their reports and really see what else are they doing other than pent up demand. Because what I don't want to do is run into a situation, a Zoom situation, where because of COVID, you're in the exact perfect situation. COVID is fading off, and now you're kind of exposed. Well, a company like Dillard's could be the opposite. There was a reason why they hadn't been doing well for a long time, right? They were we consider all the department stores dead via Amazon, right? Only the Targets and the Best Buys were surviving, and they're not necessarily department stores, but you gotta get the point. So I would have to really figure out, is this an opposite situation where people weren't shopping during COVID and then it just explodes where everybody's shopping, they're spending all the money they've been saving and saving and saving because they can travel, they weren't spending money on gas because they weren't driving, and now things are reversed and people are all outside now. Are they going to do something else with that money other than going to Dillard's? What is it about Dillard's that are keeping people there than shopping online in other places? I don't have that answer yet. That is something, if I decide to invest in this or if I decide to trade it, which means I'm going to do something for a shorter period of time, then these are questions that I need answers to. Where am I going to find these answers? News reports, the company statements. So they have an investor relations section on their website. I would encourage you to go there if you're looking for it. They've got hundreds and hundreds of pages of things to pour through if that's what you want to do. Right now, I have their third quarter results, the press release. It just kind of gives you short notes on what's going on here. But I want to know the why. Why are you doing so great now? And what is it that is supposed to continue to press this stock forward? You could, and again, this is a little more risky because again, there's still things I want to read. You could say, I'm going to get in now and then wait until Q4, or Q4 results is going to be somewhere in January, I would imagine. So they went through the holiday season. If they've had record third quarters, record second quarters of this year, one would imagine, and again, there's no guarantee here, but one would imagine that the fourth quarter is also going to be very, very good. So I could see a case for investing now and waiting a few months down the line. There is a case for that. Until I really understand why and what you're doing differently, that's what's going to make me either confident or not confident. I'll let y'all know if I decide to jump into it. Again, my other concern is because it just really exploded. It's been up for a while. 500%. This was not something that was overnight, but it did have, when it announced earnings, it did take it was really volatile right around then and then kind of tapered off. Is this something that everybody's kind of find out about it and they've kind of cashed out? Or is this, is it going to go to 600 or 700? Again, I don't know. I know 500% is not sustainable, but it don't mean that it can't go up another 50, right? Which is just 10% of where it's already been. So I'm really, really interested in, let me know y'all thoughts. What did y'all think about Dillard's? What other companies do we not know about? Is JCPenney still alive? Is that a stock? I know it used to be. I don't know. There might be something missing. So we were right on the category, which is good. We talked about Bath and Body Works. We talked about Dick's Sporting Goods. Those are fine. Target is okay. But I didn't see this coming. Did not see this coming. So appreciate you, Brian, for letting me know about that. Y'all go, again, we talk about this all the time. When you submit questions and comments, we come out with fun videos and talk about what's going on in the market. So again, thanks for that tip. We'll look into it. I'll let you guys know what I am going to do personally. Right now, I'm doing my research, which is what I preach. Right? I'm not going to jump into it and chase after something that's already up 500-600%. Not going to do that. What I'm going to do is sit back and say, okay, let's research, let's find out. I've done the video on the 3-step research process. I'm looking at charts. I'm trying to understand, is there a, some footing? Are there some steps, or am I taking a long walk off a short cliff? which is not what you want to do. I'm gonna let you think about that metaphor for a second. But that's what I'm gonna do. More research for me to dig into. Really surprised, really excited, because this might be an opportunity, and we'll see where the stock goes from here. All right, that's it for me. Talk to you guys later. Bye.